We are we are live at IHOP in Clifton Park. It is Flock University. The Flock is here. The head coach, the general manager of your undefeated Albany Firebirds is here. Damon Ware. And you can tell he's been working pretty hard. As soon as the mic's open, Ware goes. My name is Jeff Levesque.
See?
I'll take it. I'll take it. It's the pancakes. It's the pancakes. They got everybody happy.
Got people
What
happy,
are you yelling about over there? That's because we got the block party. Listen,
take what you can get, huh?
I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. So the block party will be 5 to 7 this week, and of course, it is the first round of the playoffs because this man and that man and that man and the other ones who just came through here in 8. They got it done, man. 10-0, number 1 seed. There's Sam Castronova, everybody. Henry Nell. Craig Castronova, who slapped the hell out of me earlier on the radio. If you're listening to Fox Sports, he just walked up and just took at me. But it's all right. It's okay. It's worth it. But no, we're thrilled to be here at IHOP in Clifton Park. This staff, these people, Clinton, the boss, they have made sure that our guys have gotten all the love they could possibly get, from pancakes to milkshakes to literally making up special menus just for the guys. It's been special, and we're thrilled to be here. Nani says, "Hello, Flock fam." There she is. It's not a show until your wife chimes in, Coach. I heard the I heard the the audible just kind of gasped. You've had to prepare, so you prepare for Washington. I think we're going to talk. Let's talk a little bit about that Washington game before we talk about preparation. 98-12, dominant performance from the team, from you and what you guys did. I want to start by giving respect to Washington. They played professional. They were there the entire time. I think Lester men would have let that thing get out of control, but they just kept playing, and obviously our guys just kept playing too.
Yeah, I just want to give Coach Wells credit. They came in, they did what they needed to do. They played a very clean game. So all that was very, very professional. For us, it put us in an awkward position. Obviously, we had a 2-week bye week, and so coming off 2 bye weeks, we had to get a bunch of things put together as far as execution-wise, offense, defense, and special teams. We needed to make sure we were firing on all cylinders. And so we really had to play a really, really hard game, get a lot of things on film. And so, I told their coach before the game, hey, we're going to play super hard, and, we're not really going to take the gas off or do anything unusual because we need to get ready for the playoffs. And he understood exactly that.
That's a compliment, right?
It really is. And so we went into the game to execute some really good football. That's always the plan, is to execute the best football you can as you close out the season. And so it was an important game, obviously, to get undefeated. That was a huge goal. And also just make sure we're firing on all cylinders. So it was a good game. Everybody played hard. We were able to get some of the guys that don't get as much playing time, some playing time, and all those things helpful, obviously, when you go into this last 2-game sprint for the championship.
And again, the guys, played hard, whistle to whistle. It was great to see. Before we can move forward, let's talk about what I see. I see a lot of people asking questions already about Harold Love, the most viral video in the history of AF1. No video. Actually, the last AFL and AF1, the most viral video. Manny Aguirre, the kicker for Washington, drop kicks the ball. He's moving downfield. Harold hits him from the side. They ultimately decided that Harold was going to get suspended for 1 game.
Yeah. There's probably a bunch of things.
A spattering of boos. They didn't save him for me today.
There's probably a bunch of things I could say that, again, it's probably not the time or place to go over all the little details. But I will say, at the end of the day, was the play a necessary play for us to win the game? I will say that no, it was not necessary. And I think that's what it came down to for the league office. When they started the investigation and they called me, it was the third personal foul. And 2 of those were plays that could have been avoided. And so, you hate to see it. You hate to see a guy that's grinded all season, put his heart and soul into a football team, and and ultimately get suspended. And at the end of the day, but you got to take some accountability. Their kicker wasn't trying to touch anybody, and so the fact of trying to block him in a manner that maybe he didn't see it isn't necessary. It probably wasn't. So
it's kind of an old school way to do it. When you get that chance to get a hit in on the kicker or the quarterback, you take it.
Well, that's old school football,
right?
And so that's the trouble. Back 10 years ago, that play was legal, and so you could peel back and get a blindside block and you could take somebody out of a game. So though that was 10 years ago, we're in a day and a time where concussions and injuries and all those things, it cost a lot. And so when you take the liabilities into it, that's why, again, the blindside block goes to all levels, the NFL, college, high school level. So every level has that in place. We all understand it. So, at the end of the day, like I said, we probably could have stayed away from that and not put ourselves in that position. So, obviously, again, I respect the league. I respect what, Jeff Fisher, our commissioner, when he ruled it, I get it. It's not something that you like. It's not something that you want to hear. But at the end of the day, it's something that came down. And you know what? You just got to live with it. And it's about accountability. We've preached accountability all year. Just be accountable for everything that we do. Make sure our actions are what they need to be. And we've done a great job of that all season. A lot of great guys. Harold's a great guy. Just a moment that could have been avoided. So they came down with the suspension. He'll end up missing the semifinal game and was fined an amount of money. So unfortunate, but that's the reason we are who we are. We recruit all starters. We don't have anybody on the bench that I wouldn't start in the game. So again, we'll have some people step up. They'll be ready to go. Just some other piece of adversity for us to go through. I love it. Anytime you have adversity, it gives us a lot of momentum going into things. So we always get something. We've got the momentum. We've got the adversity, and we're ready to put on the show this weekend against Salina.
All right. So I saw one of the questions that was out there is why aren't you guys fighting this? Why aren't you fighting this suspension? Well, this is what my thought was. Obviously, you're the one, you're the maestro, you're the professor, you're the one who actually decides these things. Typically, what would happen when you appeal a suspension, if they grant you the appeal, you then aren't suspended for that game. So we would typically all of a sudden now Harold Love can play in the playoff game. But if they decide to uphold the suspension, well, then you lose him in the next game, which, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, that's the championship game. I said, why would you fight it knowing that the league has decided what they've decided and the way things are set up? If you could potentially lose a guy like Harold Love for a championship, I'd rather he be fresh as a daisy for that championship. That's what I thought. Am I even close?
Yeah. Obviously, there's risks of going through the appeals process. How quickly it'll get dissected and put together and announced. There's a lot of factors. And then again, yes, if it's upheld, then again, you're talking about moving suspensions around. If you're going to miss a game, obviously, I'm sure if I asked him, what his thoughts were, would you rather miss the semifinals or miss the finals? I'm sure anybody would say I'd rather miss the semifinals. So it's smart for us to not put in an appeal at this point. So we do end up in that position. I do think, like I said, when I spoke to him in our meeting, do I think that suspension would be overturned? And I just don't think so. And so that's the other factor. Like I said, I've been through enough of these matters that I know the ones that are subject to maybe getting overturned, and I understand the fight of it. But like I said, the problem is especially when there's a video out there that's got 3.5 million views
from one outlet.
It's right.
I think we're approaching 6.
So at the end of the day, I've watched the film. The league has watched the film. Our ownership has watched the film. I just don't see the point of prolonging this and making him miss a championship game over it. So I think it's the best approach to take the punishment, learn from the mistake, and get ready for the championship game.
And listen, anybody who does see the hit and goes, you know what, it's a dirty hit. It's this. Harold Love is one of the great people that you're ever going to meet. He has put a smile on my face every time I've seen him forever. So he was more amped for that game than I have ever seen him. We just spoke a little while ago, and he was asking me to rank this team with the teams I've been around, and I said this is the greatest group of guys and could be the greatest team. I think he took things like that to heart, and I think he went out and tried to impose his will on the game, and he did. And that hit, it is what it is. Penalty's been assessed. They'll be over and done with. He comes back. We win a championship. Parade on a boat, hopefully, and we get ready to do it all over again. That's how it's drawn up. I do like this question, and I have seen this one a lot, Coach. This is from Mother Flocker. Can Harold be on the bench? He's a great hype man. Does he have to be out of the building? Where can he be?
He will have to be in the stands. He's not allowed to be in any of the team areas. So that's part of the suspension.
So no love. Well, he'll be there, and I'm sure that we'll make sure the cameras know where he is. So what's that? Oh, the Klugos have a seat. So I kind of want to see that. I actually kind of want to see that. I feel like that by the end, they're all wearing round glasses, cool hats,
right.
retro basketball jerseys, just a whole thing. Everybody's offering him a seat. Okay, first of all, you all have too many empty seats.
Right.
What are we doing here?
Let's go.
Yeah, get those going. We are live here at IHOP in Clifton Park. A great place to enjoy yourself, get some food, have a great time as per usual. That was yesterday. I mentioned that I can see you've been against it. You're getting ready. You weren't sure who you were going to be facing until Sunday, late Sunday. It is the Salina Liberty, one of the teams that's played us the best this season. As a matter of fact, one of the teams you said is playing some of the best football besides us this season. Lay it out for us. How's this game going to look? How do you prepare for this team?
Like we prepare for everybody, but we know it's win or go home. So our coaching staff we've really been working since Saturday. We started the process, looking at a little bit of film before, got into Sunday after the game. We had to put some time into both Billings and into Salina. So we spent, a good portion of Father's Day at work, broke off, got to spend some time with our families, and then it's right back to work. So Sunday was, like I said, at the beginning of that game, it looked like it was, it was all Southwest Kansas. And I would say probably midway through this second quarter, I was like, all right, it's Billings, and let me just start looking at my Billings stuff. And so I literally started to do that. And then at halftime, I was all right, so hung out a little bit with the family, came back after halftime, and then you could kind of see there was a little bit of shift. I was still like, yeah, it's probably Billings. But at the end of the day, they battled back and won it. And 2 weeks in a row to battle back late in the game and win it with a last-second field goal. Got to be special for them. Is that how I want to win a game? No, I want to win a game by a couple touchdowns. I'm going to
98-12 would be nice.
So, but again, hats off to Coach O'Neill. He's doing a great job. They started off struggling a little bit and changed a lot of personnel and things. But, like I said, I see a lot of the comments, hey, they started 0-4 and now they're this, at the end of the day, and they've made a lot of changes. The one thing that I feel so great about my team, year after year is that I don't have to change my guys. I recruit the exact guys that I want, and I invest my time and energy into them mentally, physically, emotionally, and I get them to a place where, again, they play at a high level. And so I just love that about our organization. That's, again, a lot of the guys, you don't change out a lot of players, and a lot of players want to play here because they know that once we feel that they can fit the job description, we'll invest in them. And so it's tough to bring in a bunch of guys and make changes and bring in new quarterbacks midseason and all those things. That is a lot of work in itself. And I put so much time into each player that, bringing a guy in midseason is tough. And so, we have to bring in a couple players because of injuries or those kind of things. And you got to think of how much, coaching and teaching we've done through training camp, through all the games. Then here you come in, 9 weeks later, and now we've got to teach you everything that we taught all the other guys for 9 weeks and catch you up to a point where you can help us win a game. That's not as easy as it sounds. And so, that's one of the things I'm proudest about is that we don't have to do a whole lot of changes, and we never really want to do that. And it's a testament to just the guys that we recruit. So, like I said, they're playing some really good football. They've got two very good quarterbacks. Rakeem Cato has energized their football team, but he's gone out in 2 games, and Kilgo's come in, and he's done a phenomenal job of helping the team come back. So we've had to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. That takes additional time. Each of those quarterbacks does things a little bit differently, so you've got to spend that time. They've got a phenomenal receiving core. Desmond Epps, they've got Ed Smith, they've got Malik Honeycutt. Those guys are all phenomenal receivers. So we have our work cut out. That last game against Salina, everybody brings it up. They brought it up on the broadcast against Southwest Kansas about 5 or 6 times. Oh, Salina's played Albany tough. That's the one game our defense did not have multiple stops. The only game. So rightfully so, and we fumbled 1 ball going into the end zone. So other than that, like I said, was it that close or was it that great of a game? Yeah, I leave that to other people to decide. But that's the one game. The only game our defense had a couple struggles getting some stops in a game. Is that going to happen again? We're humming at all cylinders. We're really playing some good defensive football. Do I envision our defense not getting a stop until the last drive of the game? I do not envision that. We've got a great plan in place. These kids are going to get after it. And they know they've got a lot to prove too, because of last game, now you've got to go out and prove that game was just a fluke and we can go out there and get stops. And so our defense is super motivated. I loved, today was a hard work day. Coach CJ was out there screaming and yelling and slamming his hat. And I love it because that's how intense we are. It is every little detail counts right now. You cannot make any mistakes. You can't have any MAs. You can't have mental moments. You can't jump off sides. We can't fault. All these little details were dialed in. And, like I said, this is going to be a fun game. I love the playoff time. It's just the best time of football because there's so much on the line. So we're dialed in. We're ready. We've got one more practice tomorrow, and then just to walk through, kind of finish the approach with just the mental side of it. And then it's time to get some rest and get ready for the game. So I'm super pumped. Our players are super pumped. Our whole organization, everybody in our organization is super pumped for this game. And so I kind of secretly in my head, just because they took us to overtime, I kind of wanted this game again. Obviously, again, there's plenty of personal connections, obviously, with Billings. So that would have been a fun game, too. It would have been fun to talk about. But Salina, just because they took us to overtime, it was kind of secretly what I wanted in the back of my head. Like, that team I want to play again because everybody keeps bringing up how close the game was. So, okay, no different. Hey, when we put up 100 points on Corpus Christi, oh, that was a replacement team. That was this, that was that. Well, how about we do it again? How about we show you that I don't care who comes in here again. If you come in here and don't execute good football, we'll put up 100 on anybody. So I kind of wanted this game.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah. So like I said, at the end of the day, hey, we welcome Salina Liberty in here this weekend with open arms. We're going to give them what we always give. We're going to give you 4 quarters. You better be ready for it. And like I said, let the best team win.
Love it. And go ahead, give it up. I mean, this is who he is. This is how he motivates. That's why he's the professor. It's funny you were talking about Cisse in practice. I think that I was going to say in the offseason, but there is no offseason for you guys because you go from this to helping Hudson Valley football get better and win games.
The funnest part is we actually go have a couple weeks off. Last year, literally, we got done, and 3 days later, we were in training camp. When they moved the season up just a little bit this year, trust me, when I looked at the schedule, like, thank the good Lord, we'll actually have a couple weeks before we go to training camp. Not that there's not a ton to do, but we'll at least be able to spend a little time with our families, maybe take a quick little vacation, do all those things because once training camp starts, you're talking about 15 to 17-hour days for a month. So it's probably crazy what I do for a living. I go from one team to the next. I'm sure my family, but the cool part is, my son's going to be playing at Hudson Valley this year with me. So he'll be, again, on the offense this year. We just went and did his classes today. So we're super excited. So he'll play receiver.
Let's go.
And so, yeah, it'll be fun. So there'll be a lot tied into that. There'll be a lot of wear all over HBCC campus, but we're super excited to get that process started. And I'm most excited. I mean, again, just looking at his classes, he's going into pre-med, looking at his classes today. I was just like, I don't know how you're going to play football and do all that. We talked about that on the way home. I'm like, you're in calculus, biology, chemistry, some others. I was just like, I don't know how you're going to do it. But he's like, he was picking his classes and with the advisor, and he's like, let me give myself enough time between classes and football. And he's like, and I'll get it done. And I'm just so proud of that kid. He's a phenomenal kid. He's top-rated student. He's a straight-A student. Even the advisor was looking at his transcripts today and was just like, you are a tremendous student, aren't you? And it's just such a proud moment for me, as more than the athletic ability is just the ability to have that kind of knowledge. And as I've told him, I would be nothing prouder than to call you doctor at some point. I just think that is absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to see his journey.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I was just saying, like, I think I'm trying to decide who would be a better motivator for me when I start getting back into the gym. You with the positive teaching, or Cisse? I told you to pick it up, put it down now. I told you, come on now. What am I doing here? If you ain't gonna pick it up, showing up here, oh man,
I'm not sure if that is as motivating as it is scary sometimes. I mean,
fear is motivating.
Right, fear is motivating, and like I said, he is. I just love to hear him in the morning. Maybe that's wrong of me, but when he goes ballistic, I just smile, and I'm sure people look at me like, you like that? Like, I absolutely love it. I love to hear people fired up and excited about what they do. He's passionate about his job, and like I said, he's doing a phenomenal job. Like I said, last year, we were at Hudson Valley. It's really where I started to notice, you know what, I think you're ready for that next step. He worked his butt off last year, and our offices were close together, so I got to watch him every step of the way and listen to a lot what he was doing. And that was when I, like I said, through that process midseason, I was like, you know what, I want you to apply for the DC spot for us next year. And he was super surprised, and look how that's worked out. He's doing a phenomenal job.
Father Flocker says Cisse would make a great drill sergeant. Yeah, I don't think they're allowed. I don't think they're allowed to yell the way he does anymore. I don't think they let him.
Yeah, I'm sure that's no longer accepted.
when we were just getting everything going, we did the open tryout. We didn't do it this year because you already had your roster, and it just felt wrong to bring people in. There were people who showed up for that open tryout. Well,
that was hilarious,
and they left crying. He's the one guy. He just wore like tennis shoes.
Yeah,
he was like,
you came to a tryout and all you brought us some tennis. Man, he got on a few people that day, and I just laughed my butt off the whole time.
They found out real quick whether they belonged or not. That was it. Flock University live from IHOP in Clifton Park. We're here hanging out. The guys have eaten tonight. The flock is eating now. All right, so we know that it's going to be Salina, but I see a lot of questions. Let's talk health first. What's the health of our guys? I know we've been relatively fortunate this year, knock on wood, but we've had some injuries.
Yeah, we're as healthy as we've been all year. Obviously, we're waiting for one more appointment for Derek Jones. Obviously, he went down early in the season. Huge loss in that Corpus Christi game, and that's why those games always scare you a little bit. But he'll go in next week. So, again, provided we take care of business this weekend, he'll go in for an appointment next week. He could possibly be cleared for the game. It's a long shot, but there is a possibility he could be cleared. And I think that would be phenomenal for him. I know he's itching to get back onto the field. The only other person that's hurt is somebody that's still on IR. Jonathan McAllister is obviously his season was ended with an injury, so he's working his way back through that. So we've got him working through some treatment and getting him ready so he can get prepared for next year. So those are the only guys healthy. Everybody else is pretty darn healthy, and I just that's where that 2-week bye week was really important for us. Last year we played such a tough schedule last year. I would say half the season we were really like I had to tone practice way back to get through practice. That's how hurt we were. This year it's been nice to not have to worry about health because of the bye weeks we've had late. So we had 3 bye weeks in the course of 4 weeks, and so that really did allow some of those soft tissue injuries to heal up. So we're super healthy, which just makes for some phenomenal execution coming up this weekend.
So obviously our team is housed by the Clock Tower Hotel. They're amazing hosts. They take great care of us. Monica and the team, Jeff and everybody, they do a phenomenal job. Sometimes you do pool workouts. Do you do them there? And has anybody ever kind of walked in with like a robe going, oh, this is different?
I don't know. The fun part is that we've never had anybody walk in there. We do ours first as soon as it opens.
I'm showing up with floaties
and a Speedo. All right.
Well, you're the coach. Y'all try to get that vision out of your head while you're eating dinner. Just drink it in, ladies. Drink it in.
You have to get Ben to come down there with the camera so everybody can see that.
The water's cold there, by the way, just so we're all clear. Just so it's very cold water.
But no, we do it first thing in the morning as soon as it opens up. It's a part of just our recovery management. It's a process I've used for many, many years, and the guys absolutely love it. It really does help their bodies stay in tip-top shape. So it's pretty fun.
Apparently, Monica watches from the gym window. We just the boss over there. Hey, look, I would too, and not even for probably the same reason. Just out of curiosity, I'd be watching. It's a spectacle. All right. So, we do love. We've got some amazing sponsors and partners this year. It's been phenomenal. It's kind of how we got here. I do. So the other, if you got to listen to Fox Sports Radio 980 earlier today, Levac and Gaz started the storyline of how do you replace Harold Love for one game on the defensive line? He said he would hate for the narrative during the game to be that Harold Love isn't there and that the Liberty are able to run the ball a little bit because he wasn't there. And I'm like, you're the announcer. If you don't make that the narrative, it won't be it. But to his question, what's the kind of the rotation that you would use to kind of fill that hole?
I mean, we have to sit because we have so many good defensive linemen. We have to sit a guy each week, and that's so we saw Lawson Greenwood came in, got released in the UFL, got released from the CFL, so we finally got him back. You know, he had to get his legs under him, but if you just watch him, his progression throughout the game, it was phenomenal. So we're real happy to have him back. So, again, we have a bunch of really good defensive linemen. Lawson Greenwood, Singleton, who's got plenty of sacks. Prince came in late and is doing a phenomenal job. We got Hickbottom, which, again, was our starting nose last year. We're not, adept of any talent. We've got plenty of bodies that can do the job. Like I said, we don't really have backups. We just have other guys that can come in and get the job done. So, like I said, it makes it an easy choice when one of our guys is out. That's the guy that's sitting for the game. All the rest of the linemen are super excited. They'll get their opportunities. And again, I don't think we'll miss a beat at all.
That's, listen, you do a phenomenal job with the roster. That's always my favorite question when I talk to like some media outlet that doesn't know what goes on here. How do you get these players? They're like, well, it's a lot of research, a lot of studying, a lot of sleepless nights. Or at least that's what Coach tells me he does. But it's like Mike, the special delivery Mike just said, next man up. That's
truly the name of the game. We don't have a lot of next men, which is the problem at our level, but we have next men and they're all ready to go. And so, just to piggyback off of just the roster, we really spent a great deal of time of figuring out what we wanted to be, what our identity was going to be, and what kind of team we wanted to be offensively and defensively. We really went out to pick the exact guys that we thought could fit the job description. So that process we took as much time this year that we needed to figure out the guys that we really wanted. The vision that I had coming into the season, I mean, it was met in training camp. I knew in training camp, these are the right guys. And so barring any injuries, pretty much everybody, again, like I said, I think we have 20 of the guys that originally made the roster are still here, and the other ones were just changed by, just a couple people. So we've really, our vision for the team is really, it's come to fruition. We love the culture that we have. We love the way everybody works. We love the character of our guys. I mean, I just talking to Clinton, hearing that, we got Sam Castronova, our starting quarterback, bussing tables back there. And I have gotten more compliments for these guys around town this year than I ever have in any season prior to this. And so that's a huge thing, is to have that kind of feedback from your guys doing great things. I completely believe in us being in the community, being out there, being visible. And again, our guys have just done a phenomenal job of that. And so that the funnest part for me is seeing your vision come and it being met, and that vision has just been incredible this year. And I'm super excited to see this team in the playoffs.
It's interesting, the difference in our guys, because Sam Castronova busses tables at IHOP, but I heard Zeke Rose helps bus tables at Hooters. It's weird. I wonder if there's motivation behind it. But the story is the same across the board. Respectful gentlemen who we're so thrilled they're in our community. It looks as though I may have started something, as I've seen that Monica Labrie, from the Clock Tower, she said it's purely science. That's why she watches. And then Jake Labrie, our CEO, he mentioned that that she's there every morning, and that she told him she was out getting milk. Listen, Monica, I will pretend that we were reading to orphans if you know, you give me a slightly better rate when I need a room. I will. I love you, Jake, but man, if you know rooms, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, so we're live here at IHOP. We talked about the game, everything like that. Obviously, we covered the Harold Love situation, and I did see. I think it was Stephanie wrote, I hope Harold's seeing the support that he's getting, and I know it means the world to him. Absolutely. That you guys have done that. I will say that those of you posting free love, that may not mean what you think it does. Maybe you may want to be careful with that one. And by the by, I mean, if you just need meat out there, love vac. I mean, we could just put we just throw the vac on the end of it. I'll go out there and stand in the middle for a little bit. For Harold, I'll do it, man. For Harold, I'm in. As I've said before, I will do anything for love. And I would do that, actually.
All right. Well, choo.
You guys don't know this. This is one of the long time ago. We were hanging out, and there was a bunch of us, and Coach and I were talking about plays. And I'm like, man, I want to see a triple stack of wide receivers in arena football. And he's like, I can draw anything up. I'll draw it up. I was like, what are we gonna call it? And I think you had one of it, choo choo. So like we were like, we'll do a train sound, then that'll happen, and whatever. And then the next day, somebody was sober and smart and decided not to do any of that. Somebody was still drunk and stupid. Was like, when are we gonna do it? Well, I want to do the train thing. I want choo choo around here and there. And so when he said choo choo, I got real excited for no damn reason.
The good times we've shared over 5 years.
Yeah. It's
We've
been
got
quick.
some stories.
And none of them are going to be told. Oh man. All right. So do we have any questions from the flock? Because I mean, we covered a lot of things, and I feel like we've hit a lot of the questions that are in here. Chris Sipperly, he said one of the Lisas can lend me their jersey. I have one. I just don't wear it because it feels weird wearing it around guys who play. And then I get pushed into the game, and they'll expect me to kick. Oh, sorry. Too soon. I love you, Manny. You're the best. But we're built very similarly. Any questions? Anybody in here got questions?
Oh, Lord, I hope the league's not watching this.
Listen, I am one of the biggest fans.
Too soon, Jeff. Too soon.
It's probably true. If I had $1. I don't own the team, actually, at this point. I know that a lot of people have been asking. Everything I've heard, it will be on Evergreen now, this game. Game on Sunday will be on Vice TV. So we've got that going for you. John asked the question, just wondering, and I know you've answered this before about the answer, so here it is. Just wondering if coming so close last year is motivation for this year.
Yeah, of course. It was heart-wrenching. There was just things that happened leading up to that game that contributed to a game. And when you feel helpless in a game and you lose so close, it just that was definitely motivating to change a lot of things going into the offseason. But I jokingly, we were in Chicago, and we had dinner with the head coach of Billings and their owner, and I told him, we were sipping a couple scotches, but I told him, I said, hey, if we would have played that game, if we would have played that game 10 times, we'd have went 9-1. But you won it when it counted, and that's the most heart-wrenching thing. Is there was just several things that happened in the course of that game, and some leading up to the game, that just made it unbearable. And so I just never wanted to feel that again. And so we took everything down to the stud, so to speak, and we made sure that we brought in the right people. We made sure we brought in the right attitude. We made sure we had the right coaching staff to help lead it. We really did everything by a supreme design. I love this team. I love what we're doing. And so we look forward to Saturday.
Love it. There you go. You get a lot of applause today, man. This is good. I feel like I'm at like the State of the Union. It's like, I don't know when to go, though.
I almost got to do some kind of State of the Union. Roger Weiland had called me, and they had an event with a bunch of bigwigs, and their keynote speaker had backed out, and they wanted me to come down and speak. And I was like, I would have loved to have done it, but it was during practice time. So.
Coach Ware, I'd love to have you out. It'd be great to say you're a motivational speaker, you're live local, you're late breaking.
Too good at that.
We worked together for years. I love it. He's a great guy. Mother Flocker, what are the block party plans? Sorry, I got myself screwed up. We got the DJ. We're going to have ice cold beverages out there. Thanks to our friends at Aramart. We're going to have Flock Support has a table or two out there. I know Steve's been Father Flocker. I mean, he's so far up my butt. I don't know whether to charge him rent or pay him for a colonoscopy. I don't know. I'm not sure which, man. Bring a camera, man. It could save me some money in the future. No, so don't worry. That'll all be out there. We're going to have some merch for sale out there. Some special. Jake Labrie has been working on a special edition T-shirt just for the playoffs. So that'll could potentially be available. All kinds of cool stuff going on. Most importantly, just a chance to get together, hang out, pop some drinks, and break some bread before we go in and watch the team go and do what they have to do. Old Dusty Trail. Ray? Is this you? Oh no! All right. What jerseys this week? Are you willing to tell people what we're wearing?
We're going all black.
Oh, I love it! I love it! I love it! The blackout. Let's do it. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to see if the are we getting bagpipes? Oh my God! Maybe it's Andy Gelcher. Maybe it's our owner Andy Gelcher from Mohawk Chevrolet. He loves bagpipes. He goes. I will tell you that my bagpipe connection, and yes, I have a bagpipe connection, is out of town.
Nerd.
But this nerd beat you on the River celebrity birthday game.
That was heartbreaking too. But I told you I wasn't going to be rough at that. I don't know all these actors. That was tough. But you did a great job, though.
You took me to the wire, though. The first few days, I'm like, I am a nerd. Like, listen, I watch films. He watches film. This is me. I'm going to win this all day. Then he wins 2 straight. I'm like, wait, this ain't funny no more. I need to win the last game. And then I did, but it was still a great. They want us back, so
tell them we'll be back.
Get ready. So my point about bagpipes, if you are a bagpipe band, and you'd like to potentially play, hit me up. I could use another bagpipe hookup. All right, let me see. Shirts coming through customs. I'll order them from UPS so they get here on time. Mike works at FedEx. You got quiet, man. There's steam coming off that egg. I love you, brother. No, these are being made locally, so we're good. Just looking for a couple more questions. Steph, she said she had faith in me all along in the celebrity birthday game. All right, I guess that's about Old Dusty Trail. Yes, I'm the owner. Give away some tickets. I mean, he wouldn't say that. he gives away his tickets, and then he's very generous, but he wouldn't do that. Sipperly, a special thanks to Jake Labrie for grabbing the remaining signatures tonight for the Nest helmet, the raffle they did for the helmet. Jake was chasing people. Jake ran in with that helmet, and I thought it was a motorcycle helmet at first. And I was like, I don't know a lot about Jake, but that would have shocked me if he rolled in on a bike and then just took off. That would have caught me off guard. But yeah, one of the cool things that happened this year was that the drawing is going to be this week at the Flock table. That's pregame. Outside of the block party. All right. So if you've entered the raffle for the Nest autograph helmet, or if you want to enter it still, you can do that at the Flock support table at the block party. See, more cool stuff. And now we're just getting a lot of questions about buying stuff. Listen, email me levac@firebirdsaf1.com. I think there's still some buffet, so I'm going to get after that. You probably haven't eaten yet today.
Yeah, a little bit earlier today, but it's been a long day. I'm pretty exhausted, I can tell you that.
All right, here's the deal. Give it up for the head coach, the general manager of your undefeated Albany Firebirds. 2 to go. Make sure that you have seats to this game. Do not miss out. You have to be a part of the Flock this year. This game in particular, 7:00 Saturday night. Salina is a tough team, but they are no match for the Flock. Give it up for the Flock right here. This dude keeps calling me Jester Jeff. Like, come on, man. I want the crown. What do you think of the arena crown? I love
it's unique.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's something that nobody's done. But yeah, I'll let them dress that up, and yeah, we'll do whatever. If it's the crown we need, then it's the crown we need.
I'm gonna wear a crown. I'm gonna wear a crown to the game now. I'm gonna do it. What? What was your question? There is a trophy. It does not look like that. Have you seen it? I have. It doesn't look like that. It's different. You're gonna
Beautiful.
Yeah, here we go, Ray. Have you guys watched the Muppets, Stadler and Waldorf? One of them's here. one of them's here, ready to go. All right. Listen, my name is Jeff Levac. Thank you for being here. And as Ray requested, one more time for the should be, better be, and if it ain't, it's a robbery. The coach of the year for the AF1, Damon Ware. Nice. And of course, give it up for IHOP, baby.
Hey.
Great food and everything. All right. You can't end an episode of Flock University without those two simple words. 1, 2, 3. Flock you.